Leisure Suit Clipping. It's gonna
oh man! Did you hear about the John Cena chatbot?
And welcome back to another Linux Gamecast Weekly, the show that covers the latest Linux gaming news, reviews, how-tos, and most importantly, whatever the hell else we come up with. I'm Vin, joined by Jordan Svang and Sandra Martinez. Together with you, Chat Realm Dynamic helping us form. That's not Gypsy Danger. It's Ultraman.
Yes.
Ultron. Kane.
No, it's Mazinger 7. It's the change robot.
I can make up words too.
Oh, I mean, these are Toku deep cuts, my friends.
Oh,
you gotta watch more 60s Japanese TV.
What about Transor Z? Let's roll. Let's do it. All right. Big show for you tonight. A couple things to talk about, a couple of juicy things, a couple of interesting things. We'll try not to get too sidetracked. So let's immediately start by getting sidetracked, right?
Sure. Let's do it.
Yeah, checks out.
Look at those tracks over to the side. Let's follow them.
Woo, woo.
Squirrel.
Not this time, brick of cocaine. Not this time.
No, well, welcome back to Cocaine Squirrel.
Hey, Vin, do you want to go on an adventure? Not this time, buddy.
Not this
rips my comes down the fucking chimney, rips my jugular out, and then starts looking for you guys.
So, dude, you get a like I get to like spend a day and a half like doing the thing. It's very much like when you buy that lottery ticket. You buy a lottery ticket like every couple of years just so you can spend a day going, what if? There's a darker side to that. I got the mail service where they, take pictures of like all the mail and I get through. I see one from the funeral home, a funeral home addressed to the family of Mr. Stone. I don't know what the hell this thing is. Like I Google it, I go to Reddit and like I'm searching. I'm like, this is a real funeral home. It's addressed to the family of Stone. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? I immediately just like, I don't have anybody on this continent that like, so I text my brother. I'm like, anybody died? Because I don't know. This thing's coming the next day. Yeah, it shows up today. I get to the home. These motherfuckers sent me a questionnaire asking me, what are my thoughts on dying?
It's like, well, I wish I would right now at this point.
I shit you not. They want to know, what are my thoughts on grief and like being dead? And how that, do I have a will? Get fucked. I'm not going to call you up.
Man, I worked for the first company I worked for out of college. They did like bill payments, and one of I've told the story before, but the grimmest one that I ever had to do testing for was an ordering system for a cemetery, and as part of the thing, you could select what kind of grave you wanted to purchase, and it's like, well, I need to walk through the child grave workflow to make sure that all that stuff is working.
Oh my god,
yeah,
this is wild. I didn't expect a questionnaire from a fucking funeral home. All right.
What are your thoughts on dying? It's like, do you feel like moving in here recently?
Yeah.
Couple other things. We know Silk Song's coming out this year. Hopefully, allegedly, I've been looking to find a game to work on my skills, get my fingers going back, and I revisited something we haven't touched, or I hadn't touched since 2013. Jordan. Sandy, 2013. That was a while ago. Dust.
Oh my god! Wow. Yeah.
An Elysian Tale.
Yeah.
People sleep on that game. I sleep on that game. I forgot. I loaded it up and I'm like, this is a tight ass platforming game, man.
Yeah.
It's got it.
It was one of like the first Microsoft games to come out on Linux
Microsoft Studios, right?
Yeah, it was an XNA game, wasn't it?
And it can get repetitive, and it's got a bit of a hockey stick towards the end, and I never got to the end of it. But like far as the platforming, the Metroidvania aspects, like lovely. Had a great time with it. Is it a furry game? Yeah, it is. But it's a furry game from 2013, back when furries
it was cool.
They had class back then.
Yeah.
They had tact. They hadn't devolved into just straight hardcore degenerates like they have now. So, you could play a furry game from 2013. You'd be like, they look good. Well, yeah. So I had a good time with that. And I'm super excited about this. A very unexciting PC that I'm very excited about.
It's a rectangle. It's not a square.
No, tiny little guy. Yeah. It's got USB-C monitors on the back, Jordan.
Fancy.
Two of them.
God.
And dual HDMI.
Does it do like two 4K displays?
I don't know.
So some of these like mini PC GPUs are like, yeah, no, we'll totally push two 4K displays. Yeah.
Oh no, this will do 2 4K no problem. What I don't know is like the 2 additional 10 gig USB-C also video. I've already tested them and like I only have one 1080p USB-C self-powered monitor, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that does work. No, you did a good job there. I was expecting some like mankery and like, no, it just popped up. I'm like, I wish XFCE would do that. That'd be nice. Stay tuned for that. I'm working on that for another different thing. But yeah, go play Dust if you got it. And you've been jonesing for something.
It's probably cheap too, because it's like 2013, so it probably goes on sale pretty often. Yeah.
2013, it still looks a business, man. You'll be able to play it at 8K with your 5090 or whatever. How about you, Sandro? You're back.
Yeah. Well, I would have to go into my Steam library and blow off the dust on that game.
Sounds like you really need to be playing Dust Force instead.
No, it sounds like you print out your damn Steam library and keep it somewhere.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I tried printing out Baldur's Gate 3 the other week.
Vector printers. Printed out Elysium Tales.
One frame every 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. But no, just continuing to work at the bathroom, still trying to communicate with a daughter who's like, up yours, dad. I got my own life.
I mean, you could have just said teenager.
Yeah, I should have. But whatever. I just wanted to rub it in. I need a little salt in my own wound.
Deal with it.
Don't put salt in your eyes, Sandy.
So we got to start taking bets. When will the TV show up above the combo scanner printer? What do you think, Jordan?
With shame or without shame?
You know what? When I say TV, I'm going to be generous. I don't care if it's like a 10-inch display. Duct tape.
sticky tack to the wall.
Yeah. You know what? I'll even accept an Etch a Sketch at this point.
Hey, what if he like draws a TV on the wall?
I will send him a pack of gold fucking stars. Is what I'll do, Jordan.
All right.
And a pizza party.
What about two pizza parties?
Fuck that.
What am I made a pizza?
No.
Yeah. I'd probably say not by next week. I'll tell you that much.
All right. You got that cleared up.
So, okay, dude. Here's the important question.
Oh shit.
Do you have a TV to put there in the first place?
Yes.
Damn.
Okay.
So he's gonna go get the TV. Walk by the.
Yes. Fucking walks up with the.
Goes to like fucking hand truck.
Yeah.
God damn it! See, look, he did.
Yeah, see,
He did.
Okay. All right.
Don't drop it.
I think I. Oh no! That I think that has the back nipple. That's not the Walmart TV that I have. Okay.
I don't know.
It should fit.
That ain't gonna fit.
That ain't gonna fit.
Told you.
He's got to do a ceiling mounted. Like honestly, I want this to be the entire podcast now. I just want like Sandy Cam, and then we just bark orders at him and have him do stuff.
Okay, a lot of you are just tuning in now. Hi, how you doing? You've probably never seen us before, but that made you go look up the video version, didn't it? All of that just happened. Jordan, when you're not punching jelly fins, man, what you up to this week, man?
Oh man, this week has just been not a lot of stuff going on.
No, that could be good.
No. I guess I have to talk. The one exciting thing I got to talk about is my Petitioners mill deck that I'm building for Pauper, because that deck has proven, or it seems to be pretty neat. Magic the other.
See, I'm learning.
Yeah. This deck is it's a mill deck, so its whole point is it has cards that take cards from your enemies deck and puts them into your graveyard. And if you have to, the rule of the game is if you have to draw a card and there are no cards left in your deck, you lose. So that is its win condition, is it tries to like flush all your enemy's stuff into their graveyard and force them to lose that way.
Oh, that's smart. I like that. that.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like mill as a strategy. The decks I usually play implement like self-mill as a strategy, where you do that to yourself to like take advantage of stuff in your graveyard. But this one is just more of a straight up pauper mill deck. You just try and deck your opponent. And I thought it was fun. I was in the mood to build another pauper deck. And so I'm in the process of sourcing persistent petitioners, because that's like normally you can only have 4 of a single kind of card in your deck. And Petitioners has an exemption to that rule, so you can have as many as you want, and that's how the deck works. So yeah,
nothing wrong with some YOLO on your deck.
Yeah,
sure,
I'd live with it.
Can you make a little? Can you make a home out of those?
I can make a little house of cards. Yeah, I might be able to make a I don't know, house out of pizza party.
Oh,
Millhouse.
Shut up.
Listen, everything's coming to Millhouse, man.
It's very thrill ho, you know.
You know what? If you want to tie that one in, go for it.
Yeah, you know who else is a big old thrill hole? The horse. It's the Steam. Update. We did it. I was originally going to go with made out of pizza, but the conversation drifted away from that.
Smooth as pizza on a horse, baby.
Smooth as pizza, baby.
Hey, we don't have our scrolling plugin this week. Thanks, Google. So let's jump
Manifest V3.
After an abrupt action taken by Valve, Counter-Strike mod in development for 8 years gets canned. Modders deny using leaked source code, say others should reconsider how they see Valve. Now, this is something we talked about on the show a couple of months ago, because they got a notification. This was the team working on, what was it, Counter-Strike Go Classic.
Classic Offensive, which was bringing back Counter-Strike to more of a 1.6 era style gameplay.
You know what? Yeah, 1.6, and
I'm old enough that like 1.6 is still new Counter-Strike for me, and 1.5 is the good shit. So
like, damn it, my Steam was
a bit of a trip to read. Yeah, olive green, baby.
So if you don't know, like a little bit of the backstory, there is, this is something they started working on like 9 years ago as a mod, and they just kind of hacked it together. And they initially did a Steam greenlight. To give you an idea how long ago this was. This was a thing where, you could vote games on Steam, which I thought was a great idea. You could game it, popularity contest, but it was still, I think it proved more friction than what we have now, is just give us $100 and put your game on. Anyway, Valve just kind of broke contact with them. Didn't talk to them. They're like, whatever. Then they're getting ready to release this a bit later, several years later. They come and they're like, hey, Valve, talk to us. We would like a Steam store page and all that. And Valve's like, being silent. Then Valve's like, we don't really want you to put this on Valve's property and store and all that. And they're like, okay, we'll release it. Maybe I'm getting this right. Like on ModDB or something like that. And Valve's like, you can't do that with our stuff, though.
Yeah, that was more or less the sequence of events. Was that 7 years ago they had like gotten in contact with someone from Valve, and they were supposedly given the green light by someone. They didn't necessarily say who. But yeah. But they were told you cannot release it until it is actually done, and so they waited until it was finished. They were told, you can't have this on the Steam mod page. And then they got a cease and desist from on their ModDB page as well. And there's like a lot of speculation as to why this is the case.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because like we brought it up last time. There's stuff like Black Mesa and other such efforts that restore things. But I think I don't know, and this is my theory. There are other ones out there, but I really feel like this is just like this is the limits of Valve's tolerance for fucking with the cash cow. You can get away with something like Black Mesa because no one's really buying Half-Life 1 anymore. It's a game that like maybe they would have like remastered themselves anyways, and this just had someone else that did the work for them, and it's not anything ongoing. Counter-Strike is an active live service game. Go buy some fucking skins. Don't play the 1.6 version of this that doesn't have the monetization. Play the monetized version. But I mean, there could be other things. There was talk of this potentially containing leaked or otherwise unallowed code that is available via the SDK that you technically shouldn't use. Although I was going through that Reddit thread. No one's really able to find a source on that.
The Reddit thread. Now, did you see what I linked to on the Seems Legit thing? That was from the actual mod developer himself, which is a journey to get all the way through.
Okay.
And at one point, he just straight up, he's like, yeah, we had to use hacks to make certain things work. And Valve's like, quit doing that. So we had to come up with new ways around. I don't understand. Somebody can probably help play this out. But there was definitely they were doing some stuff Valve didn't like that wasn't, and again, what Jordan said could be completely right. Valve's like, no, fuck off with it. But even when we initially talked about this, I was like, I just felt like there had to be something else for it. And I had to really give it a think, especially after reading through some of the Reddit stuff, simply because I'm like, am I just shilling for Valve out of habit? Very well could be, right? Because they've been
good to us. So,
yeah, right?
Yeah.
So, I went digging around, and then, one of the things I read was the Reddit comment over on PC Gaming. They'll be linked to all this in the show notes of them saying that, Valve broke contact with him 4+ years ago. They hadn't really talked to him. And they ended up having to use an exploit in the SDK or something like that to work around something. I'm probably getting this terribly wrong. But the general theme of the thing, when they came back to Valve, I was like, we just don't want to deal with this. We don't want it on the store. Don't worry about it. And I think the only thing where they really dropped the ball on this was trying to release it from outside of Valve. Because it contained assets from Half-Life, and I get that. Why there's something definitely weird about this to me, because what did we cover a couple of months ago now? They just released the Source SDK for Team Fortress 2 to encourage people to get them out there to mod and revive and bring this stuff back.
But again, TF2 is not really an active cash cow, is it?
Not yet. Well, no, I honestly,
I don't think it's going to be again, but
yeah.
No.
So at the end of that very complicated, dude, I felt like I was navigating a maze on that goddamn Twitter thing of 4 posts, then going to another post, continued, and you finally get to the end. One of the guys responsible has been working on this for 9 years, had probably the best piece of information and everything to come out of this. Don't do mods based on other people's IP.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That he's like, if you're going to put the time and energy into a game, and he's like, it was a different time 9 years ago. We did not have readily available game engines. Unity wasn't kicking around. Unreal wasn't in a state. So we were just using the source engine with what we had to try to make, what we wanted to do. And he's like, if I was doing it again today, I would just make my own game. And that was his advice to anybody thinking about getting into modding. I don't know if that's necessarily the best advice, but that's his. And I wanted to just kind of pass that along. This comes as there has to be something else going on. But it's Valve. And Valve does not do Valve any favors, nor I guess do they have to, of just being like, no, this is the whole thing.
Yeah, they're not the most transparent of organizations.
No. What was a Euro Truck simulator guy who was like, hey,
we found an exploit. You're getting banned off our store.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, come on, man.
That is a gross overreaction. If as the most charitable thing I could say about that.
Yeah, it's Bill's maybe I overreact, But yeah, there we go. We're still unable to release the project due to our use of hacks and an older version of it and all that. And in the story, you can probably find this floating around. And apparently this was available outside of Steam. I'm not a huge CSGO player. Sandy, have you played CSGO before?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I play CS2 now. Even to this day. Back when I first got onto Linux.
Is that not right? Is it CS? What is the proper...
It is CS2 now, right?
It's now called CS2. It's no longer called CSGO.
Okay.
It's like an Overwatch 2 scenario where the old one was replaced by the new one. It's not there are 2 different versions.
Okay.
Yeah, which I did the Linux beta for that.
But
I remember when I first got into Linux back in 2010, I was playing Open Open Counter-Strike, they used to have a client on Linux. So, which was like a just another group that was essentially rebuilding 1.6.
Minor side tangent. Y'all remember Urban Terror?
Oh yeah, Urban Terror. That was another one I used to play.
That was like the Quake version of Counter-Strike.
Kinda.
Yeah.
But yeah, then there was that other one that never got finished. That was always a Planet, or dude, we could pause the show and spend 3 hours trying to find it.
Right?
Cue the X-Files music.
Right, man. So ultimately, at the end of the day, maybe you can speak to this, dude. Like, is there enough people that desperate to play 1.6?
I mean, there are still people who want to play like classic WoW. I think the audience exists.
Yeah.
Whether or not someone is going to be there to like cater to them is another matter, right?
Mm.
Yeah, like I think it literally comes down to like just a community of people who just like they play it just because it's classic Counter-Strike, you know what I mean? Like, and some dude is hosting the servers.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, this sucks for them. If you're going to take anything away from this, if you're working with something with any company, be it Valve or anybody that, and they don't talk to you for 4 years, take that in. All right.
If you're looking for an alternate title for Counter-Strike, Increment or Hit. There you go. You can have that one for free.
Increment or Hit. Yeah, I like it.
All right. What happens when McDroid invades your house?
Oh, yes.
Drugs?
Yep. The Webbing Journey. So this is a new game that released on Steam. Yeah, it's pretty much you play as a spider with physics-based objects throughout the house or the environments, and you get to do all kinds of little crazy to-do tasks and stuff like that. There's apparently some quests in the game where you'll meet other spiders where they'll ask you to do stuff. But yeah, it's they have a day one Linux demo.
Dude, that's sick. I want to do that. I want to be a spider on a Hot Wheels.
Yeah, I want to be the spider flying in the frying pan, dude, and dabbing.
Oh, you got dab, obviously.
Yeah, this game looks fucking charming as hell.
Yeah,
and like I'm super into it. What I want to see though is I want to see like a live stream where someone like plays this game over like 2 weeks, but every day just does different drugs to see what kind of webs he makes.
See, all right, now yeah, exactly. You want the fucking LSD season pass on this shit to watch the drug web. We've all seen those. I'm like, that looks fun.
We've all seen the spider video where they give the spiders all the drugs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
As we're sitting there going, lucky ass spiders.
Yeah, this is your chance to be that spider.
Writing. So this looks fun in like a chaos simulator, but if there's enough challenges in there to keep it, oh god damn it, that looks even better. You can,
right,
yeah,
see,
I know,
like,
right?
This looks dope as hell, right? It's like soap surfing.
Yeah, you get to ride the toast, build your own webs. Can we do some asymmetrical and like where some of us can be the flies?
Well, I was gonna say like the tiny world one reminds me of that one shooter, the small soldiers one. We were playing it for a while.
You mean the game that like worked really great that one time we played it in the after shows, and then every other time we touched it, it just exploded everybody's computer? Yeah,
absolutely, yes.
Ah, man, the spider has caught a fly. Let me know if you get that reference down in the comments. It's a kids movie.
Is it safe?
When's this coming out? You got a demo to go play with? Do they have a date?
I don't remember seeing a specific
coming soon to early access.
May 19.
Yeah, May 19.
2025. Add it to your wish list. It's single player. Telling you, let us be the flies. Play chess. You know what? I don't care. Just make it where me and Jordan can play a game of chess.
Multiplayer. Online multiplayer.
And we're done.
No. There's just like little Jeff Goldblums walking around. And you have to like catch them in your webs.
But we got to be able to summon Battle Chessatron.
Yes, obviously.
Yes.
No, you build them with the webs. It's like the Tears of the Kingdom, right? Where you build your like giant mecha and then you use that to fight Ganon.
Well, they're like the little jumping spiders. What is it, like Children of Earth? I forget the sci-fi series I read. It's like a 3-book series about the evolution of spiders as a spacefaring.
Okay,
good book.
Oh,
yeah, Yeah,
Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah, that's it.
No.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Manual Tuesday, everybody. Blast from the past. The biggest Manual Samuel update yet. You're like, wait, what?
The only Manual Samuel update yet, as far as I'm aware.
Man, when was this game released? 2016.
Jeez.
I was still in the old apartment then. I do remember that.
Gentlemen, what is it? Like, the past couple of weeks, past 2 months at minimum, like, all these games have been digged up and getting a new coat of paint, some lacquerty hairdo, and sparkly cowboy boots.
Perhaps some kind of water vapor powered plank. I don't know.
Are they whipping their decks up?
Maybe.
Maybe they want to get on your deck.
They want to get on your deck in the toilet.
Tell you, man.
Little bathroom.
This is fresh with some gameplay, quality of life improvements, and yes, grandmas or no gangsters. Refined Satan fights. Hell's demons are slightly easier to deal with. 8 brand new achievements. A bunch of technical and visual upgrades, and new and not totally necessary features like game-changing coffee stain physics. Now, one thing I didn't realize, gentlemen, is this is part of a trilogy. I'm like, wait, what?
Yes, the death character shows up in a couple games. I do know that.
Okay.
There's the verse. There's the Manual Samuels.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the Holy Gosh Darn It's.
Helheim Hassel.
Hassel.
I think we covered Helheim Hassel.
Yeah, that does sound very familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I do remember there being like, yeah, it's linked by like the death character or something like that. This game had a pretty fun gimmick. I don't like driving games too much, but like the whole like, yes, you have to like operate the car and like
individual parts of your body.
Yeah. It is divorced enough from the act of actually driving that like
what was the plot? Did you die? Then you had to like you had to like basically Gundam your one person pilot.
Yeah, you were trying to get to like the hospital or work or something, or you just had to like live your life. And like, yeah, you were cursed or something to that effect. You made a witch real mad at you, and now you can only move one body part at a time.
Santa, here this game might show up at GDQ.
Probably
Maybe
win
AGDQ.
Game of the Year.
SGDQ.
Yeah.
I want to see the Manual Samuel speedrun. I think that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, like, so I do wonder with like, is it just some like glitch fueled nightmare like the Machine for Pigs speedrun, or is it there like an actual like strategy, like actually play the game speedrun?
Where do we fall on that? 'Cause sometimes I want to see that. There's a very weird balance when I'm watching a speedrun, because like if there's just like the bullshit thing that's like the game's done in 3 minutes, I'm like, I like
those
like
are
Ocarina of Time speedruns where I'm like, how did you like, oh, you do that, you 6 steps backwards and then hop to the left, and you pull off one of Navi's wings and wipe your ass with it and do a cartwheel. Yeah.
The Pokemon speedruns are neat too, because like it's all seed based. So like they're all running until they hit a certain point and they're like, nope, gotta reset.
Yep.
Not the right seed. And like there's like the technical aspect of it is like super interesting. And I really does depend on the game too, because like when you do get something like Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs, it's like, yes, you can play it legitimately, but that game is so broken that it is more interesting to see the glitched out speedrun versus something like, I don't know, 2016 Doom. Yeah, I kind of want to see someone like perfect all of the fucking enemies and like do that stuff, right? Like there's I guess there are like different itches to be scratched. And it really does depend on the game.
And that's a great series. It might have been IGN of all people. They're doing the developers watch speedrunners.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is pretty dope. Now, this next thing is, I learned a lot about a game I'll talk about in a minute, but Jordan's going to take you all the way back to a simpler time when 64 bits meant you had 32-bit.
Yeah, the Nintendo 64 was on its way out. The Nintendo Dolphin was soon to be unveiled as the GameCube was the hot new shit on the playground that people were talking about. And yeah, they started releasing launch games. We got like Super Mario Sunshine. We got I think we got a Super Smash Bros as a launch title. And then we got this other weird one, because y'all remember Star Fox on the N64, do a barrel roll, nice like the vector graphics, all that good shit. And then they're like, oh, the new Star Fox game, it's going to be a character action game. And, you know, half of my friends were really confused why the new Star Fox game didn't have any spaceships, and the other half were just super turned on by the sexy fox, purple fox lady. And like, so later on, I did learn that it was actually like a completely different game that it started off as, and then through development, much like Total Recall or whatever, they're like, oh no, we're gonna turn this into a Star Fox game. And the original game was Dinosaur Planet and featured Crystal and another character who was later replaced with Fox. But yeah, this is a version of the original prototype, the original version, and they are rebuilding it to like be its own non-Star Fox associated game, and I think that's really cool. I think I think that game was really weighed down a lot by the fact that people wanted an actual Star Fox game and did not get one, and just the fact that it can like get some love and exist as its own thing is neat. Assuming Nintendo doesn't sue them to oblivion.
I mean, maybe.
you don't know, and sometimes they like change their mind like 20 years later or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've tried to pull up some cover art. Yeah, there's the Foxy thing was supposed to be she was like one of the original protagonists, like the main character. It evolved into that. But yeah, no, Jordan, what Nintendo's already said what they're going to do. They're going to remote brick your Switch too.
Right.
Yeah.
That came out this week. Yeah, if they don't like what you're doing with your Switch 2, they're just going to get it off. Get wrecked.
Yeah. Well, is this how Nintendo dies? They're just like,
no,
this is how they live on.
They will gladly, they'll just buy another one. There'll be an entire market. You'll have to read 100%. The eBay listings for like not bricked.
Yeah. Right. Oh man, I hope that it's not like a blown fuse or something, and like you can just like plug it in, boot it up with like a live USB or something, and like fucking
dude, somebody's gonna be able to fix it with a paperclip and a weasel. Like
probably right.
Yeah, they'll figure it out, man.
With JTAGs, anything is possible.
Dinosaur Planet was really, I did a little bit of research on this, and I didn't know this thing's going to run on anything. It's the recompiled thing, so they might be able to neo-dodge bullet. It's a static recomp. It's not a full disassembly and clean room and all that. Very interesting history, though. What Jordan said, man, that there was a leak build of this that came out not too long ago, a fan leak build. Apparently somebody just bought a CD. It's like one of those, like, I found this at a yard sale that I was told to show up at.
Yeah.
Showed up to Burger Becky's house at one point, and she handed me a floppy disk.
I mean,
she sent me on my way.
Happened to be at a yard sale. Dinosaur Planet with the whole Dynamod. They fans went back and patched it up, that build, which was pre-Fox in there, and what Jordan said, they turned into a Star Fox game. So imagine like Ocarina of Time, but with a fox running around in it.
Yeah, so, like. People were very confused. I know I was confused as hell because I'm like,
dude, imagine I was confused yesterday when I was like looking this up because I'm like, Dinosaur Planet, okay, Dinosaur Planet N64, Dinosaur Planet Star Fox I was like, what? These are two different games, and
I had the exact same issue. Like when I was looking it up for the show notes, I was like, wait a second, and then at first I was like, this looks like Star Fox 64, and then I was like, going over Star Fox 64 and then looking back at this, I was like, oh my god, they're the same game. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, and it's interesting to see how they added Fox in later on and tried to tie it all together.
Well, it's
they didn't have an Amy Hennig staff to like Legacy of Kain straighten out the story style thing.
Yeah.
So it was. The reason we're talking about it, there is a new version out. Modding support's in there, remapping controls in there, game resolution's pretty dope. Partial support for widescreen. Flying Spaghetti Monster, bless every one of you doing that for old games. I love that. Yeah. MSSA, debug UI, and more.
It was designed for 4x3 on 4x3. 4x3 interlaced. Yeah.
Like when I see that option for like Mario Bros. Like for NES, is like, you want to play it in widescreen? I'm like, maybe. Like, oh, no.
Isn't that cheating? Because then you see more of the.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, but yeah, definitely for like later titles, like the amount of work that goes into that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Jordan, we need to talk about a game that I think collectively we get the amnesia for. Until like something happens, like, oh right, because I know I had that this week. I'm like, right, they working on a game. That's not Half-Life 3, despite
all the rumors.
Would you make? Is there anything to it? We were talking about this. Come watch us live on Twitch. The Half-Life 3 rumors. I haven't put them in the show, but damn it, like we're getting like multiple ones from multiple news outlets saying Half-Life 3 exists. Not only does it exist, it's playable from beginning to finish. Like, are we feeling it? 2025, we're going to get that stealth drop. You're going to wake up tomorrow morning.
And everyone's going to hate it. It's going to be
everyone's going to hate it.
It's going to be the room of video games.
There's going to be like 2 days, then it's going to be invoked to hate on it. Yeah.
I mean, although people were really keen to hate on Alex until they played it, and they're like, "Oh, it turns out it was actually good." So I don't know.
Yeah, this is amazing.
I'm just mentally preparing myself so that if it does suck, I'm not gonna be worried. But yeah, Deadlock. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, we forget about it because it's not really kind of a real game yet. It is very much in development, in progress. The depot got leaked. People knew that it existed. Valve's like, okay, you people are asking us too many questions. Here, take a fucking look. And everyone's like, wow, this game is crazy unfinished. And went back to playing other stuff until it came out. But some people are still playing it. And they do have a big old chunky update here. I did a Control F Linux. No Linux fixes here. I did a Control F crash. Only 2 crash fixes. So it seems like the bones are pretty stable here. The character fixes are definitely a list of
by
names.
the way, for the audio listeners.
Yeah. These are definitely a list of proper nouns, and they do exist in the game. I'm certain of this. And yeah, the cool thing here is they have a shop rework, and they also have the ability to make and share builds and search for builds and describe them, which I think is a really cool feature because, like, especially in complex games where you have a lot of character options, there are sometimes design traps or less optimized choices. So having some kind of facility to give new players and say like, hey, here's an optimized loadout. You can start seeing what an actually powerful character plays like. And from there, you can try a couple of these optimized builds out and develop a taste for what you like. And now that you understand how the tippy tips of everything, you can start fiddling with the dials and like taking stuff out of damage and putting into health or speed or something like that. And I think this is a good way to like onboard new players and also like keep players invested, because now there's like, hey, did you see the new build? Try it out. Try this out. And then people can like iterate on it. And it further bakes in the community aspect to the game in a way that otherwise wouldn't be there.
Sandy, were you like me? You're like, oh, new Valve game. Yeah, download it. Play it for a minute.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, I did 5 minutes of it. I was like, okay, Rails.
Yeah, okay.
That's fun.
Jordan was like talking the good, like, I was like, yes, builds and like strategy. I was like, Sky Choo Choo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's all that. I'm not going to pretend I understand anything about like the actual like mechanical subsystems within Deadlock. I also
I was literally like,
enamored by Zipline.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is Jet Set.
it's not quite tribes, but like, okay.
Yeah,
I dig it. I get where they're going with it.
Plenty of fixes, and they said, because like when it first got like released. Here's another thing. If we get any deadheads in the audience, like let me know.
Deadlock heads, not Grateful Dead heads.
Yeah.
let me know in the comments if you're playing this, because I had to go look it up, and people are still playing it, but at a greatly reduced number. This thing when it first launched, we're like 50,000 people. Now we're about 13, 12. Yeah, let's say 12, 13,000 daily. Which is kind of tiny.
A little bit when this update came out, and
it jumped up a little bit. Then it went back down. A lot of people were like, "Hey, what changed?" Because one of the things they changed was when it first came out publicly, and I don't know if it's out publicly right now. You might still need to know somebody. I might have to send you an invite. If you need an invite, hit me up. But they were doing updates like every week, and they said we're going to quit doing that. But you might have like quit doing it like too much, because I got bored scrolling.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea. Maybe I'll go back and try it out. It didn't feel like my type of game, man. It feels like by the time this is going to be out, interest in this type of game Is it going to be free? I guess it's going to be free. People still play Apex Legend.
I think Dota 2 is free, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Dota 2 is free. Dota 2 is free.
CS:GO
because you have a lot of skins.
No,
they have the skin market.
Now that brings it up. If it is going to be free, like what are the monetizations going to look like? They're going to be like, are they going to be just merely cosmetic? Are they going to have like more gameplay stuff? Because like, you know, that the League of Legends model where you have like skins and stuff like that seems to
rootkits,
at least you just got to enable secure boot. It's fine.
You need 2 TPM modules.
Yeah. No, but I think they're gonna do what Valve always does, and it's just gonna be cosmetic skins, because like Dota 2, Counter-Strike, like even Team Fortress, it's all skins, you know, like that they sell in their shops.
Valve, we better get a pump action crowbar in Half-Life 3.
Pump action head crab. What are you talking about?
I already got one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, all right.
Like a Hedy Lamar yoga ball pump.
We can't talk about it on stream. We've been over this. We got to go over to Kick. Nvidia and ARM. Nvidia is kind of interested in ARM. Now, they gave everybody a big old hint. Well, not even a big hint, kind of a mild hint a couple of years ago when they tried to buy ARM. But if you weren't paying attention, Nvidia is releasing an SoC at some point. Nvidia's had an ARM SoC. This is not new to them. Like they're experienced with building ARM SoCs. Jetsons, even like consumer stuff that you can go out and buy. You know, their version of the Raspberry Pi has been around. So there's
minor aside. It always fucks me up because like the head of Nvidia is Jensen, but there's the Jetson board, and I have to like remind myself that one is one and the other is the other because I keep. Yeah. It's fucking hard, man.
I tell them apart because the Jensens get a little tiny coat.
Mm.
Yeah. Mm. And apparently they've been working with MediaTek. And, you know, we got a little thing coming up called Computex, and MediaTek and Nvidia are giving back-to-back presentations at that little thing called Computex, where the NX1 and N1 might very well be talked about, which is going to have the Army bits from, well, you guessed it, MediaTek and ARM, with NVIDIA GPU bits. Don't call it a Switch 2, because it'll definitely be faster.
I do like this caption image of a fictitious NVIDIA notebook.
Yes. Clearly legit. No, see, they're sealing 5090 in the background, yes. Hiding, peeking around the corner.
Hey, he knows what you did. He's judging you.
Now, reading through this comes from heis.de. Links in the show notes is they might announce this, but it's going to be a long time coming because apparently there might even be problems like with the silicon level type stuff, whatever they've been the N1X. You could have called it the NX1, then I could remember the damn name of it.
Then you'd need some faith of the heart, though.
Ah, man, and a beagle. And a beagle. Not a bagel.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
I want a bagel.
Because, you know, the GB10 stuff is already, like, they got that 20 core, which is 10 Cortex X925s and 10A 725s in, like, that big monster Power Sucker 9000 they got.
Mm-hmm.
And we're kind of stuck with, like, the Snapdragons kicking around. So I definitely see NVIDIA wanting to get in this, but NVIDIA's throwing everybody under the bus right now. They're throwing MediaTek under the bus, like, you fucked something up at the fab, not our fault. And they're also throwing, allegedly, Microsoft under the bus, saying, you guys are dragging ass on this Windows thing. We need this to work. Can you imagine Jensen is a gem of a human being to work with business-wise? As he once famously went into a meeting with the C-suite and some engineers, he's like, who did this to me? Yeah.
Why would you do this to me personally, Jensen Wang?
I am Jensen.
Jensen
I gotta imagine though, Jordan, that like Windows dragging us on the ARM because of the Snapdragon, because of the ARM Qualcomm thing. Well, Qualcomm's like, why are we getting sued, bro?
Yeah. Well, this is why 2026 is going to be the year of the Linux ARM laptop. I mean, yeah, the current effort between the two is the GB10, as Ven mentioned. That runs an NVIDIA customized Ubuntu derivative, but that's also targeted at AI development. And likely this would be potentially targeted at a consumer segment. Maybe this is an opportunity for like.
I mean, let's be honest. Consumer laptops, but there will be an AI somewhere on the goddamn.
Oh yes, 100%. Well, you gotta cram that in. Otherwise, how are they going to meet their market cap? Right?
AI FOMO right now, dude.
Yeah, because all the people who are promoting it are people who have vested financial interests in it not collapsing under them. You just got to pump more cash into it. But yeah, I don't know. Will we see some like consumer grade parts? Maybe. This may just end up sitting on a shelf. This may be the Switch 2.5 for all we know.
I think this is going to be real. I think, to have the whole background story of there being issues with the packaging and like actual silicon packaging, not the putting it in the box packaging, and they're having to work around some bugs and stuff like that, and still waiting on Windows. And that makes sense because, I mean, what are you going to run on it if you can't run Windows on it? Like,
oh my God! If only there was another operating system out there.
Yeah, open WRT.
Oh God, what is the the Windows emulator one?
Reactos?
React OS, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
Not Windows, and they're just like straight up, we don't need no stinking Win32, we'll implement it for you ourselves.
Dude, I can see them doing this, and they're like, this could be like 2 years out, which is way too far out, because Snapdragons are coming. Like, we've talked about the Snapdragons. I'm paying my dues right now to get a hold to make sure I'm in good favor with the people that can give me the Snapdragons. So allegedly those are going to be running Linux pretty good. I understand why you got to wait on Windows though, but Windows is still, it's going to be a consistent shit show. Yeah. There's too much stuff on Windows that it's edge case software that will be buggy as fuck, run slow as hell, never's going to be rebuilt for ARM. And there's no control. You don't have the eye of the lowercase I hovering over you, going, we're going to remove you from the App Store.
The eye of Clippy?
Yeah, and again, like Linux on ARM, like even desktop sessions on ARM have kind of been like a solved thing for like 5 years now, at least. Like, hey, look at me go, woo! No desktop.
That's an ARM desktop that you're on right now, and fully 3D accelerated, running effectively jazzed up Ubuntu on a relatively inexpensive ARM SoC. And once you get all the bits tied up with proper hardware acceleration, and you get your governor set power and all perfectly good desktop. That's why it's going to get interesting. Like, ARM is going to be the future. Gaming's going to get a lot more interesting. Last week we were talking about ARM with Proton, ARM in the added as a runtime. We want to stay tuned.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get Windows ME. But we're going to flip that M upside down. We're going to get Windows Wii.
Oh, yeah.
And then Nintendo's going to get their lawyers out.
Yeah.
Then Nintendo's going to brick it.
Yeah. Remote brick
shit out of it.
All right.
Speaking of bricks. All right. So this is an interesting one. This is from techradar.com. All of our links to all this stuff is in our show notes. You can go click on the article titles and it will take you there. So Google has a bit of a progress with Pokemon. Google and Pokemon have a very, very weird relationship. You wouldn't think that they have much in common, but they're pretty tightly knit, to the point where like Google Docs spell check will correct Pokemon spelling, and you'll be like, no, you mean Hydreigon, you mean Munchlax.
It'll correct that, but I get one of my dyslexic letters out of fucking place in an obvious goddamn word, it will fucking give me a bullshit, like, I don't know what this is. This is Moonspeak.
This is what I mean. The relationship between Google and Pokemon is deep and nested and complex. And yeah, now the robot is apparently as smart as a single fifth grader, or the collective brain power of the Twitch viewing audience. Because Gemini can now beat Pokemon Red and Blue, sort of, kind of, with quite a bit of help. So apparently there's a bit of a rivalry between the Claude folks and the Gemini folks. They showed off Claude a while ago playing Pokemon Red, and Joel from Google was like,
what's happening here? Help me out.
Blastoise is gaining a bunch of experience points.
How does this work? Yeah, the mechanics of it.
This is Pokemon Crystal. So this isn't even the game that they were I guess
talking about. Yeah, this is because what do you call it? Crystal was the one that added a little XP bar at the bottom. Yeah. But anyways, so they have, so Claude was shown playing Pokemon Red. Joel from Google is like, I can do you one better. And actually, by feeding Gemini a bunch of annotated screenshots, of like a bunch of, the game and what the information is, and an unspecified amount of nudging. He said he needed to nudge it a little bit. I don't know how much that is. But yeah, they can make it through to the end of Pokemon Red, and that's certainly something. It took a goldfish a few weeks. I don't know how long it took Gemini. But yeah, here's the thing. These are all fucking parlor tricks. And at the end of the day, what this means is that Gemini can now play games of Pokemon Red and Blue. What does that matter? Nothing really. If we're going to be boiling lakes and we're going to be fucking up power infrastructure, I think we should be getting a little bit more out of this. This doesn't and that's the thing with these learning models, is this doesn't give Gemini the ability to solve other problems. It just gives it the ability to play this version of Pokemon.
Is that like necessarily a bad thing? Like I like the spirit of like, let me see if I can make this thing do this thing.
Do it.
Do the thing.
Embrace your hatred.
Well, I like it. It boils down to like looking at a Raspberry Pi Zero W and going, I bet I'd make that run a Trackmania server.
I get it. I definitely get it.
But at the end of the day, you could also just like play a game of Trackmania on that server. The robot has played the video game for you here. That's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, cool. To see it if it can do it.
Yeah, it's like the old saying of Cave Johnson. Science isn't about why; it's about why not.
Looking at this, like, when do you think you're going to get to the point? Because it clearly can't do it if it still requires intervention. So I think there is a data point to be gathered there, isn't there?
Yeah, that it can't play through Pokemon.
Yeah, and
that's kind of really all it establishes.
So we got that. How many more weeks do you think it'll be before it will be able to do that?
I don't know. I don't know if it will ever, and like I don't even know if it will be able to do that beyond like Pokemon Red, because the games do change from generation to generation. They add more Pokemon, they add more moves, they add more types. The maps and the overworld navigation mechanics are different sometimes. Mm-hmm. So like again, really all this means is that it can play Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue.
Because I've definitely had the fortune of like
that's it.
Being old enough to remember the conversations of like just hardcore conversations of you'll never be able to beat a chess grandmaster. PCs, computers, never going to happen. Like I remember that like being used type thing. Then the Go. I still don't know what the hell Go is. I understand how it's played, and I know we got that worked out. No. Then you watch like some of the, the task stuff's kind of interesting, like feeding some stuff like Mario and playing like this. Why is Pokemon such a unique challenge? That's like where my question is, because I've definitely seen, some of these models start playing. Well, hell, we've seen these models generate fucking Doom on the fly or Quake 2 on the fly now.
I mean, stuff that looks like it and doesn't have any mechanics. But like, I think the challenge here is that like it is statistics based, but there is like a high degree of RNG present. Not all Pokemon moves hit reliably. There are interceding moves that can be done. So like there's stuff like Protect or Harden or like different strategies that different Pokemon can adopt. And like and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you can also just beat the game by leveling up your Pikachu to level 9 fucking billion and spamming Thunder, and you will just win. So there's like competitive Pokemon, there's definitely a lot more like nuance to it. But here I think again it's just, we've got it about as smart as a 5th grader.
Sandy, I know you feel that as a danger.
Yes. Yes, our overlords, even though I'm literally trying to upload my brain into an android body, but whatever. You know, like
We've been
Yeah,
over
listen,
this.
just
So
like
I said,
taxes,
God
man.
damn it! For the last time, that's a fucking Amazon Echo. It's not an Android body. All right.
No.
Close
See,
enough.
you fucked up. You don't want an Android body. You want a Nokia body. That's indestructible.
That's true. That's very true. He's got a point. Look on Ben's face.
Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
Listen,
I
just
might
want
be
AI to do my
smarter than
taxes, man. That's all I want.
All right, fine. Pokemon. This is interesting. Like I winner of the games. Who was it? Was it Google or was it? It might have been Microsoft. We were talking about. They're going to have like the AI coach generator people that are like, hey, here's how you get through this part and all this. Well, you know, Clippy's going to show up like in your fucking overlay. Like,
Oh my god, GPT powered Clippy is coming, you guys.
yeah, instead of
He's become
you,
sentient.
And because all the chatbots are super horny, it's gonna be a really horny Clippy.
fuck yeah, it
Oh
is.
my god.
Leisure suit Clippy, dude.
Leisure Suit Clippy. It's
Oh
gonna
man! Did you hear about the John Cena chatbot? That shit was fucked up.
I have no
Oh.
idea about that.
No.
I don't even. He's a wrestler, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I knew that. There you go.
You just don't see him.
Okay.
It's true. He's perfectly invisible. He's like the Predator.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to
Kinda like
wrap it
his
up for the show. If you want to get in touch with us, leave us some hate mail. We are happy to read it on the show, but you need to follow and navigate this dungeon of chaos called linuxgamecast.com, where there's a button called Contact, which has contact information attached to it if you'd like to come on the show, talk about your project. If you got audio, video questions, where you need to send those over to Interfacing Linux. There's even an email address for you old school hipsters out there that don't just want to leave it right below the video in the comments section over on Patreon or YouTube. And of course, speaking of Patreons, patreon.com/LinuxGamecast if you want to become one of the few, the slightly more than few. There's like 17 of you. I don't know.
If
100
you want to pay for our Leisure Suit Clippy subscription.
billions of dollars. It'll get you access to the video version of this without the ads, without the YouTube, higher quality, you know, better looking video, better sound and audio. If you don't give a shit about that, you do get the live and uncut version of the show. Can't make the live show. Don't want to wait around. Want it in podcast format? Got you covered. Want video? Got you covered there. You weren't expecting that unless you listened to last week's show and the one before that, and all the other ones want to say the same damn thing. Deal with it.
Surprise.
Name in the credits, access to our super secret Discord, which you can also get access to. I try to keep that open, relatively open-ish. If you're a Twitch subscriber or a subscriber on the YouTubes, we can hook you up. Come play some Trackmania with us on Tuesdays and Fridays. We finally got through an RPG map. We were cursed for 4 fucking weeks. We ended up with a bunch of people like popping into, because for whatever reason, the algorithm broke on Twitch and it put us on like the Trackmania thing at the top.
Mhm.
So we had a bunch of randos showing up like, what are you doing? And we were just trapped in pitch darkness. We're like, go away. Don't.
Everyone's doing their best James Hetfield impression.
Yeah.
This was like the absolute worst time for people to start showing. We were just fuck stuck.
Welcome back to Plato's allegory of the cave.
It was not fun, man.
Yeah.
But we soldiered through it. We got through a 15-minute map in a little under an hour. It's a great time, as we do, you know. Overcome, adapt, improvise, and these two. This is Baldur's Gate, Middle Earth's favorite crime fighters, taking place Thursdays, where they are spanking hobbits and
We just made it to Act 2. Welcome to Bloodborne, ladies and gentlemen.
title drop.
exactly.
200 hours into BG3, about to get to that opening Assassin's Creed title drop. Gonna love it. Demo's almost done.
Yeah, roll the intro credits.
Yeah.
Then it just fades in. You wake up. It's like, you're finally awake.
yeah.
I see you're finally awake.
Yeah,
Okay.
our brains have collectively been poisoned by Skyrim. Anytime there's a fade to black, just fade back in.
Okay, see, this is how you know you're either in a simulation or hell or a delicate mixture of both. Like every game you play from now on, you get to a point where it fades to black, then it just turns into Skyrim. You're like, wait, what?
God damn it. They got me again. Those bastards. Fuck you, Todd.
And you wake up and the alarm clock's going off, and you're like, no.
and then you go downstairs and you go out the door, and there's just a wagon waiting for you with a guy in the back.
Oh, you're finally awake. Like, no.
No.
No. All right. Hey, yeah, I think that's going to wrap us up. So let's go ahead and cue the music. Say our goodbyes. Let's see. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you want to get in touch with me, you can do it, man. I got a forum over on Interfacing Linux, so if you got tech questions, anything related to your audio, your video, single board computers, or if you just want to chat, gaming, whatever, we do it old school over there. No ads, no tracking. I'm actively blocking AI scrapers. So, safe as I can at least make it. Trying to do something. Interfacing Linux. Chat with me in Discord. We're active in there as much as I can be. And all the social medias. I'm on the Twitters. I'm on the Blue Skies, the Mastodons. Just look for Venstone. Wherever your neighborhood Venstones are sold. Yeah.
I'm Jigglypuff, and no robot is ever going to catch me. I ain't going to jail.
Beep, boop.
Follow me on Blue Sky at Frojo at bsky.social or at Frojo at mass.linuxgamecast.com on Mastodon.
And I'm Cubone. Cubone, bound. And you can find me on Mastodon as the only platform. And it's at Altimore at mass.linuxgamecast.com.
1 week. I got faith. I don't care what Jordan says. I think you're going to get it right 1 week.
Yeah, someday. Someday.
I see. My thing is like, I don't know if you're a Cubone. You don't strike me as a Cubone type.
God damn it! Here's some credits.
Yeah. What Pokemon are you? Send us some hate mail. We gotta thank our wonderful advisors who are gonna scroll by in a minute. I think it's just Arthur, and we gotta thank our executive producers. They're coming up too. It's Barbram, Scott, Atomic, 1234, Kodaki, Drummer, Thargos, Chicago Kicks Ass here with Eggy, Basil, Empty, KC, and we got our Sea Monsters, who other people read.
John, Dirty Dean, Angle, System T, Nimai, Truggy, Mike, HRI, Reed, Sandy, goddammit.
Redski, Mark J, Terra Oil, Hope, goddammit, Benjamin Nova.
Keep going.
DG,
you can do it,
Ghost
man.
Hawk, fucking brackets and letters,
You got this,
and Darkwing,
Power
and
through.
Zin,
There we go.
and then there's this guy, his name is
Shoddy.
Sandy and Shoddy.
There we go.
See, like, it just occurs to me, like, fucking 5 years later, I should probably just have this in a text file and not try to read it off the return video.
Yeah, that would make
listen,
sense.
man, you know, you're only
That
bleeding
removes
out of
the
your ear
challenge,
a
I
little
know.
bit, dude, so it wasn't that bad. All right. Ladies and gentlemen,
pretty
boys and girls, have a great rest of your week. Go download the podcast, give it a like, give it a subscribe, give us a share, leave us a comment, and try to get up something, be a miscreant, or whatever else you want to do. But, yeah.
Don't stuff me in a ball.
You're making my nuts blush, dude. Dinofire, everyone. We'll see you next week.
5 dudes.